Morning, everybody. How you doing? Here's what I'm going to talk about. That's a mess. I got all kinds of microphones here. Can everybody hear me okay? Good. Basically, this is going to be about, and I'm going to jump right into it, this is going to be about data collection in the Barnett Shale area, Fort Worth, Dallas-Fort Worth. Primarily we did this for Chesapeake, but we're also doing it for Enterprise and others, DFW Midstream. And it's a case study. In other words, I'm going to talk about how we did it. I'm going to talk about what we did. Now, the overview of what we did, very straightforward. We collected data, topographic data, property corner data, etc., to create the database from which the right-of-way was built in exhibits so that it could be acquired, stake the construction of the pipe, as built the pipe. That's what this is about in a gas gathering context. That's what this is about. Now, if I was sitting there, my first question would be, why do I care about this? I know how to do this. The reason is because the way that we did it was that GIS was the key. That was the reason that this worked as well as it did, as efficiently as it did, as smoothly as it did. Everything was data-based. Everything was available to all team members on the web all the time. It was always current. That's the point. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm talking about this. Okay? That's the overview of what I'm going to talk about. Now, next thing I'm going to do is go in the details of how. Now, I hate to hear the sound of my own voice, and I'm being recorded. This is awful. So please ask questions as I go along. Anything at all. You know, point at the slide and say that isn't right, or whatever. Just anything. Jump in, say, I want to say something about that. Okay. All right. Now I got to start this recording. All right. There we are. Okay, good morning everybody. GIS case study, managing data, delivering quality. I'll present the comprehensive picture of the project from field to GIS with all the steps in between. At the end of this, there's going to be, we did it for Chesapeake. I'm going to move pretty fast through these. We've done this, as I say, at the Barnett Shale. We're also going to do it in the Haynesville Shale in Louisiana. And here's basically the first step in the workflow. This big ugly thing in the middle, the Oracle Spatial Database, is central to what I'm talking about because that's where all the data resides. One place, one database, always current. I'm not going to have this scattered around among a million different places and then worry about versioning. It's almost impossible to see all these details. I just want to say that the workflow starts here and continues. And I'll be talking about each one of these. The Oracle Spatial Database with GeoRaster, and then we're using FME to get back and forth. Now, our process always begins with a line list. This line list obviously just shows, given the track numbers as we got from Chesapeake, the owner name, the legal description, survey permission date, this very, very brief idea of what we're going to cross. With the design of the pipe, remember this is all new construction. This is our first definition of the route. Obviously the first thing we do is we take that, we create an alignment, we overlay it on the parcels that we got from Tarrant County. In this case, that's where it is. And then we highlight clearly the tracks that we're going to be crossing. The objective here is to find the tracks that we're going to be crossing, get the right-of-way defined, build the exhibits so that the agents can go out and acquire it. Okay? So obviously we have to know which tracks we're crossing. Now you all in the room probably know that this is automatic. I mean, once you've got the alignment and you overlay it, you can highlight the parcels. There's no magic there. Okay? Now we extract the parcels from the initial line list. Obviously what we're extracting is not just the boundary, we're also extracting the owner, the assessor's number, details about the tract. Okay. This is our preliminary mosaic, which is posted to our database. In other words, you see behind this is imagery. Again, no magic to this. This imagery actually comes from the county. We purchased it from them. It's 1-foot contours. and here's in the red is the preliminary alignment of the pipe. Now, of course, you all know that that's going to change. It never stays consistent. Now, all of this goes into the database, and I'm going to be talking about this frequently. Why? Why are you putting this stuff in a database? Well, one of the major reasons that we're doing this, and we're pushing it out on the web, is because members of our team are in Fort Worth, some are in Tulsa, some are in Denver. One of the obvious problems is, as you know, this stuff is going to change frequently. When the alignment has to change, when some reason this owner won't cooperate, or they want it on the other side of their property, rapid change. When that happens, you have to be able to inform everyone immediately. It can't be through some process that takes any time at all. It's got to be now. And that's why we put everything in a database and push it out on the web. That's the foremost reason that we built all this in GIS. Now, the alignment of the workspaces and the intended information have to undergo changes. We have to have a single place to edit it. We have to share and store all these files so that there's no confusion. All important documents live on the database. All of them. Not just drawings, survey point files, exhibits, alignment sheets, schedules, survey permissions, everything that has to do with this alignment. I can't emphasize this enough, because clearly, if somebody gets it wrong, and they go out in the field, and they stake it in the wrong place, all kinds of terrible things happen. So obviously we can't have that. All right, now, there's no upload procedure because the process is automatic. There's always a single current file that's used by all the companies in the team. When the changes are made to the files, the users at the other end are notified automatically. And this is an example. Here's the following that's triggered by a notification. An easement drawing was updated at that date, at that time, and here's the location. And every time a user does that, a notice is sent out to everybody. Okay, now regarding the abstracting effort. Clearly, what's going on here is that the tracts, the parcels that you get from the county, or from whatever authority that you get them, the parcels are wrong. Well, of course they're wrong. Everybody knows they're wrong. Okay, fine, that's fine. All right, now, are they close enough? No. No, no, no. For this application that I'm talking about, the idea of that you hear frequently, well, we've got the parcels, and now they're not perfect, but they're good enough. No, they're not. Not for this. Because remember, what we're doing here is we're creating the exhibits that are going to be used to acquire the right-of-way. God help us if we get it wrong. Okay, so clearly we've got the parcels that we're crossing. Okay, we've got that. But these boundaries are, let's just use a charitable term and say approximate. All right, so the first thing we've got to do is we've got to get the deeds, not just the deeds of the parcels, also the easements, also the encumbrances, anything that affects that parcel. Anything. Because just because you don't see it today doesn't mean that there wasn't an easement that existed 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago that affects the parcel that you're trying to get this easement from. Also adjoiners. You can't just have this parcel if you're going across. You have to have that one. And you have to have that one. Why? Because at law, any record monument, which is what a deed is, a record monument, has to be taken in its entirety. It can't be taken that one line that adjoins this parcel defines it. No. Whether you've got that line right or not, the whole parcel has to be defined. So we have to have the adjoiners, we have to have all the easements, we have to have anything that encumbers the property. Okay, great, fantastic. Isn't this wonderful? Now I can see that if I've got a parcel, if I've got a line that's crossing 50 or 100, and I'm not exaggerating, we're talking about an urban area, 50 or 100 parcels, and then you add on top of that all the adjoiners, and you add on top of that all the easements and the rights of way that affect, it's huge. Okay.